Poor Judy Garland has gotten moved again. First, they disinterred her from her tomb in Hartsdale, New York, and moved her to Hollywood. And now I have moved her a little bit that away, which is, what direction is that? What's east and west here? I'm a little disoriented. That would be to the south. I moved her a little bit south here so that you can behold her as I make my show. And there's something new to look at in the laundry room. There's a broom here that I failed to put behind the washer and dryer. It has one of those dustpans attached, one of those clever little inventions that has the little recessed area on the handle there where you can put it over the pole of the broom. What a great world we live in, ladies and gentlemen, when inventions like this can make our lives easier. Good morning. This is Martin Zenner. Welcome to another week. Not only is this another week, it's Monday, February 27th. This is my sister Kelly's birthday. So happy birthday to you, Kelly. Drop Kelly a line at Stark and Hartman headquarters, Martin's Under headquarters. Kelly puts together the show for you, gets it to you, mails it to you. And Selena, once again in Massachusetts, is putting the titles on, putting the music on the MP3 file, putting the nice little effects on the show. And I thank these two ladies for taking this broadcast to the world for me. Now, political alert. I'm about to talk about politics today. One day, sidetrack, and then back to the unveiling. We did start chapter 21. We're on the new heavens. We're on the new earth, and we're looking into the new heavens from the new earth, and you and I will be in the new heaven. Don't worry about that. Because anytime you mention the word earth, Israel has supremacy. And so, yes, even on the new earth, they still have supremacy. It's that word earth. Whenever you hear earth, you think Israel. So why do you think I'm straining to get off this earth? I'm tired of having Israel be the main subject matter here. It's all about Israel. Even in the political realm, we see always wanting to have peace in the Middle East because Israel is everything. If you want to know what's happening in prophecy, look to Israel. It's true. And even though that nation over there contains false Israel, soulish Israel, that's still the Holy Land. That's still the Holy Land. Did you ever wonder if holy means behaving yourself? If a holy person is a person who is doing everything right and acts saintly, which it's not, then how could a land be called holy? The Holy Land. Does real estate have any sort of moral tinge to it? Can real estate help an old lady across the street or bake cookies for its enemies? No. So being pronounced holy simply means that you're separated unto God. So that land over there has been separated unto God, and God is going to take that land, that real estate, and he's going to put a kingdom around it. Kingdom with David as the king, acting in the spirit of Jesus Christ, acting in the stead of Jesus Christ. Now, politics, yes. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I used to think that for a one world government to come, and we want the one world government because we know that that is part of the end time scenario, to have a man of lawlessness over a one world government that stomps out all its enemies and brings the world into a time of prosperity and peace, which of course will be a harbinger of doom and destruction. That's the way it's going to work. And again, it's going to be so slick that even the elect would be deceived. So my thinking, even as recently as, 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, was that the United States of America was going to have to be neutralized, because a one world government cannot tolerate one nation rising over another nation. All nations must be equalized. And there are many factions in this world who do not want the United States to be an exceptional nation. You've heard of American exceptionalism. And it's that our system of government is a good system of government because it recognizes God-given traits of humanity. The longing in the human to be free, to be self-governing, to occupy itself. Paul says, work with your hands, lead a mild and quiet life. These are scriptural things. So this is not completely political. The need and desire to live a mild and quiet life, that's in humanity. And in order to lead a mild and quiet life, it's ideal to have man-made systems of government as far out of our lives as we can get them. So I'm always promoting a political system which would keep that system as less involved in my life as it can be. Now, when God's government comes, that's different. It's going to be a monarchy. It's going to be a benevolent dictatorship with Jesus Christ as the dictator. But that's fine because Jesus Christ is good. Jesus Christ comes with all the authority and the power of God, and God is love. So this is the difference between God and human beings. God is love. Absolute power does not corrupt God. Absolute power brings more grace from the heart of God. Not so. Absolute power in the hands of humans. David said that salvation from a human is futile. I will add to that, my take on it and my tweak on it is that absolute power and governmental control in the hands of humans is not only futile, it's deadly. Communism leads to people in charge of it becoming almighty and all-powerful and squashing the little people to get more power for themselves. In Venezuela, right now, 70% of the population has lost 20 pounds because they're starving. They're starving. It's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. I've been to that area of South America. I've been to Colombia, which is a neighbor of Venezuela. It's a beautiful place. The natural resources are plentiful, and yet it can't be managed because the people in power are hoarding that power to themselves, and they're starving the populace. This is not good. Back to globalism. There is going to be a one world government, but it's not the evil one world government that has been forming under the guise of globalism or elitism, redistribution, communism, progressivism, liberalism. All these appellations are merely different phrases for one world government, or if you want to call it a new world order. I'm telling you, Obama was a globalist. Hillary was a globalist. The globalists like power for power's sake. Obama did things purposely so that the United States of America would not be the country of its founding, because Obama hated American exceptionalism. You know, the saying on the dollar bill, e pluribus unum, that is one among many. And the idea being that even though the United States was one nation among many nations, it was a nation that rose to the top because of its people, because of the opportunities here, because of the opportunities of freedom, which is really an unusual thing when you look at the world and the world's history. There have been more dictatorships, more slavery, more bloodshed than not. More wars than not. Not that the United States doesn't start wars. I know it's not a perfect country. I'm just saying that the powers that have been over us in the last 8 years have been powers that would seek to destroy America as it was founded and to bring it in line, to crack the whip, to get it down to the level of all the other nations so that there can be a one world government. And now we have this guy named Donald Trump. And I know what many of you are thinking. Donald Trump's just the same thing. He's a champion of the corporatists. He's the champion of the elitists, the globalists, the ruling class, the progressives. I disagree. I completely disagree with you on that. I honestly believe that Donald Trump is a self-made man. His father was a self-made man. He believes in individualism. He loves small government. He says that the small person in America is not going to be forgotten. That's not what Obama did. That's not what Hillary wanted to do. The small person needed to stay small, and those that had money, those who were making money needed to stay in the middle class so that they would not rise to the top, because the globalist agenda doesn't want anyone to rise to the top. It has to keep the playing field of the nations level and even scale it down a bit so that the ruling class, those few people who own all the money, can control them. It's about being controlled. The last thing they want is for the economic engine of the United States to be unleashed. That's the last thing the globalists want. That's why they hate Trump. I'm telling you, that if anybody who thinks that Donald Trump is in bed with the elitists, the globalists, the progressives, the redistributionists, the New World Order people, they're wrong, because these people hate Trump. They absolutely hate him, and they're trying desperately to destroy him. And the American press is definitely aligned with the elitists and the globalists, and the facade is off. The American press is completely trying to destroy Donald Trump. And the powers in the world are trying to take him down. And they're telling lies about him. Here's how you know. They're telling lies about Donald Trump that if you get your news only from mainstream approved government sources, then you're going to think Donald Trump hates women, he hates blacks, he hates Muslims, he hates people in general. And it's just, none of this stuff was true. Donald Trump was never accused of being a racist or a misogynist or a xenophobe until he ran for office. This guy is a loose cannon. He can't be controlled. He's his own man. He basically sticks his finger and raises his middle finger in the face of the press, in the face of the globalists. And he is creating an environment in America where the middle class can rise again. And the stock market's going apeshit, if you haven't noticed. It's up $2.2 trillion because now the investors have confidence that there's going to be a good business environment. And if it's good for the little guy, if it's good for the big guy, it's good for everybody down the line. It's called trickle-down economics. It just makes sense. If you don't, it doesn't trickle up. Wealth doesn't trickle up from nothing. It comes down from the top. And I know that wealth corrupts people. I know. None of this is perfect. But now I see that the New World Order is not the obvious New World Order. Now I see that the actual New World Order is going to be created by a powerful America. A powerful America is the first step toward a New World Order. This is different than what I thought. It's a new World Order. It's not going to be called the New World Order. And as I told you before, I predict a renaissance in America. And America is going to be great again. And this is part of the end time scenario. Because groupthink is not going to get this done. You see, I used to think that the man of lawlessness would have to be apart from a nation, would have to be like a United Nations type figure. A figure that purported to be apart from any national allegiance. But now I find, I believe, could I be wrong about this? Yes, I'm not perfect. My opinions aren't perfect. But I now believe that the beast will come out of a resurgence, a rebirth of American exceptionalism. I'm excited about it on two levels. I'm excited about it on the level that I do like my country, just like I like the neighborhood I grew up in. I like my hometown of Canton, Ohio. So I do have a degree of national pride. I know that I'm a citizen of the Celestials above it all, and I know that my home is inherent among the Celestials, but in the meantime, I'm down here on the planet Earth. And you will not ever have to say to me, Earth to Martin Zender, because I'm paying attention. I'm not obsessing. I am sometimes distracted. But believe me, Trump is a threat to the current obvious New World Order and the evil powers that would corrupt. And the weird thing is that friends of mine who hate Trump, they don't realize that this is what they also hate. My friends, they hate corruption, right? They hate people being controlled. They hate anybody who would keep people poor. They hate wars for profit. They hate the ruling class. They would not ever say, yes, we want America destroyed. They would never want anything that would promote class warfare, class envy, or racial discord. They don't want things unbalanced. Everybody wants things peaceful so that they can live a mild and quiet life. What they don't realize is that the lady that they wanted to get into office, namely Hillary Clinton, the globalists like Hillary Clinton, just like they liked Obama. They wanted them in. So the elitists in control of all the money, they wanted Hillary Clinton in office because she was in line with their plan of taking over the world. And so they would tell lies about Hillary. Hillary is for you. Hillary is for the little person. Hillary is for the gaining of wealth of the middle class. Yes, Hillary is for you having your own health care plan. Hillary is for respect. None of it was true. It's all lies. It's all front. Because Hillary was a money-grabbing witch who just was out for her own interest. And her husband the same way. And on one face, she would say, I'm going to punish the wealthy and the big banks. And on the other hand, behind closed doors, she's giving speeches to big banks and taking money from big banks. It's total hypocrisy. Total hypocrisy. And so the same people who were lying to you about how great Hillary would be and how she's for the little person and she wants people to be wealthy. BS. She only wanted herself to be wealthy and her donors. The same people are lying to you about Donald Trump. He hates the little guy. He wants people to be crushed under his authoritarian boot. He wants racial discord. No, that would have been Obama wants racial discord. Always playing the race card. Always saying that nobody likes me because I'm black. And it's just, yeah. I actually think Trump's colorblind. But having said all this, I believe that what starts out good, and I think it's good now, I really do, it's going to be overtaken. This is going to become a vehicle for malevolent spirits to take over who will be doing it so subtly that they're not so stupid as to do it through the evil, mustached, obvious New World Order of George Soros, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama. This is obvious evil. If you think those people are decent people, you're totally deceived. Now, even though Trump is a loose cannon, he's a locker room talking kind of guy, I still think he's a real man, and I think he cares about people. I think he's a working class president. I honest to God think he's a working class president. I love the Beatles because the Beatles, John Lennon said, we're the only working class rock and roll band that stayed working class. And Trump's just a working class. And he cares about the working class. Make fun of me all you want. Go ahead. But this resurgence of American pride and American spirit that built the greatest country, the country of progress, of innovations, of inventions, that spreads freedom and light and translates the scriptures, even though it's been corrupted. It's been corrupted, I know. This will become a host for the most malevolent spirits in the universe that will take it over, hijack it. It will never be seen that it was hijacked. It will eventually be seen, but when it happens, it will be so invisible to the human eye, not to the spiritual eye. The spiritual eye will know, but the human eye will think it's the best thing going. And even the elect would be deceived by the greatness that's about to come. Even the elect would be deceived. Even you and I are going to say, wow, This is the best. This is great, finally. But that is going to be the end time deception. It's the new world order cloaked in righteousness and goodness and fairness and equity and racial harmony, but possessed by the darkest spiritual forces of the universe. Don't be deceived by it. But don't believe lies either. You can know what's going on and at the same time be free of it. Because we're living in the world. We're in it, but we're not of it. God is going to bring humanity to the pinnacle of its own greatness in order to show the world and the universe the futility of finding any salvation in a human source. Our source for salvation, for life, for peace, for true prosperity, true plenty, is the God of Jesus Christ. He's our God, and He is going to rescue us, those of us who put our trust and confidence in Him. By the grace of God, we have this trust and confidence. He's going to rescue us out of the coming indignation.